All right, we are coming up on 8 o'clock. So, let's settle in, get comfortable, pull up a chair and a drink, and let's get started with Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. Welcome back, welcome back. This is our 7th night with our good friend Walt. Last time we'd gotten through a bit of a more serious turn. We made it through some of the more whimsical musings and free love and personhood, and we're shifting tone just a little. I need to recalibrate for a moment. There we go, that should help. Anyway, as I was saying, he shifted tone and started to reflect on and provide his thoughts and feelings and the feelings of the country as he was going through and reviewing the American Civil War. And things took a more serious turn, obviously. Now, thankfully, our good friend Walt is on the right side of history with this one, so we don't need to step too carefully. We can lose ourselves in the emotions that he pours out on the page, the feelings of loss mixed with patriotism and standing up for what's right. It's always a relief when you find out an author or historical figure that you've been following is not an asshole on principle. It helps. It certainly helps. I'd have a very different feeling if we had a more Confederate tint around here. But all the same, literature is as literature does, and the book carries on. So, let's go ahead and find ourselves back in the book. We'll see what we have ahead of us tonight. Yes, unfortunately rare indeed. We have every so often we find landmines among the literary luminaries of the past. And sometimes their ideas don't exactly carry water these days. Luckily, Walt seems a good sort. In general, all that we've read so far of him has been on the money. He's sex positive. He's accepting of all creeds and histories. He's optimistic, uplifting. I won't call him an ally because he was obviously LGBT himself, but in general, the hits keep coming. So I'm here for it. Good on you, Walt. All right, let's continue now. Oh, hello, Simba. Yes. Good boy. All right, let's jump back in, and we'll see what we have ahead of us tonight. So, continuing with, I think we're still in the Book of the Soldier. Or Drum Taps. And we'll be in Drum Taps for a hot minute. This is one of the longer books here. Obviously so. Yeah, he just shows up. He's like, oh, you sat at your desk. It's time to hang out. Zoe is around. I think she's sleeping in the cat tree behind me, so at some point I'll flip her button on, but for now, we get Simba. Alright, so let's jump back in. Too long, America. Too long, America. Traveling roads all even and peaceful and learned from joys and prosperity only. But now, now, to learn from crises of anguish, advancing, grappling with direst fate, and recoiling not. And now to conceive and show to the world what your children en masse really are. For who, except myself, has yet conceived what your children en masse really are? It's a little big-headed of you there, Walt, but we'll roll with it. Give me the splendid silent sun. Give me the splendid silent sun, with all his beams full dazzling. Give me autumnal fruit ripe and red from the orchard. Give me a field where the unmowed grass grows. Give me an arbor. Give me the trellised grape. Give me fresh corn and wheat. Give me serene moving animals, teaching content. Give me nights perfectly quiet, as on high plateaus west of the Mississippi, and I looking up at the stars. Give me odorous at sunrise, a garden of beautiful flowers where I can walk undisturbed. Give me for marriage a sweet-breathed woman of whom I should never tire. Give me a perfect child. Give me a way aside from the noise of the world, a rural, domestic life. Give me to warble spontaneous songs recluse by myself, for my own ears only. Give me solitude, give me nature, give me again, O nature, your primal sanities. These, demanding to have them, tired with ceaseless excitement and racked by the war strife. These to procure incessantly, asking, rising in cries from my heart, while yet incessantly asking, still I adhere to my city. Day upon day and year upon year, O city, walking your streets, where you hold me enchained, a certain time refusing to give me up. Yet giving to make me glutted, enriched of soul, you give me forever faces. Oh, I see what I sought to escape, confronting, reversing my cries, see my own soul trampling down what it asked for. Keep your splendid silent sun. Keep your woods, O nature, and the quiet places by the woods. Keep your fields of clover and timothy, and your cornfields and orchards. Keep the blossoming buckwheat fields where the ninth-month bees hum. Give me faces and streets. Give me these phantoms incessant and endless along the trottoir. Give me interminable eyes. Give me women. Give me comrades and lovers by the thousand. Let me see new ones every day. Let me hold new ones by the hand every day. Give me such shows. Give me the streets of Manhattan. Give me Broadway, with the soldiers marching. Give me the sound of the trumpets and drums. The soldiers in companies or regiments, some starting away, flushed and reckless. Some their time up returning with thinned ranks. Young, yet very old, worn, marching, noticing nothing. Give me the shores and wharves, heavy fringed with black ships. Oh, such for me! Oh, an intense life, full to repletion and varied, the life of the theater, barroom, huge hotel for me. The saloon of the steamer, the crowded excursion for me. The torchlight procession, the dense brigade bound for the war, with high-piled military wagons following. People, endless, streaming with strong voices, passions, pageants, Manhattan streets with their powerful throbs, with beating drums, as now the endless and noisy chorus, the rustle and clank of muskets, even the sight of the wounded, Manhattan crowds, with their turbulent musical chorus, Manhattan faces and eyes forever for me. I like that one. It had a blend of both the scenic and rustic, as well as the urban and active. It kind of flipped on its head partway through, but it espoused the beauties of both, which is something that a lot of times you get one side or the other. You don't really get both. Dirge for Two Veterans. The last sunbeam lightly falls from the finished Sabbath on the pavement here, and there beyond it is looking down a new-made double grave. Lo, the moon ascending, up from the east the silvery round moon. beautiful. Over the housetops, ghastly, phantom moon, immense and silent moon. I see a sad procession, and I hear the sound of coming full-keyed bugles. All the channels of the city streets they're flooding, as with voices and with tears. I hear the great drums pounding, and the small drums steady whirring, and every blow of the great convulsive drums strikes me through and through. The son is brought with the father. In the foremost ranks of the fierce assault they fell. 2 veterans, son and father, dropped together, and the doubled grave awaits them. Now nearer blow the bugles, and the drums strike more convulsive, and the daylight o'er the pavement quite has faded, and the strong dead march enwraps me. In the eastern sky up buoying, the sorrowful vast phantom moves illumined to some mother's large transparent face. In heaven, brighter growing, oh, strong dead march, you please me. O moon immense, with your silvery face you soothe me. O my soldiers twain, O my veterans, passing to burial, what I have I also give you. The moon gives you light, and the bugles and the drums give you music. And my heart, O my soldiers, my veterans, my heart gives you love. Over the carnage rose prophetic a voice. Over the carnage rose prophetic a voice. But be not disheartened, affection shall solve the problems of freedom yet. Those who love each other shall become invincible. They shall yet make Columbia victorious. Sons of the mother of all, you shall yet be victorious. You shall yet laugh to scorn the attacks of all the remainder of the earth. No danger shall balk Columbia's lovers. If need be, 1,000 shall sternly immolate themselves for one. One from Massachusetts shall be a Missourian's comrade, from Maine and from hot Carolina, and another an Organese, shall be friends triune, more precious to each other than all the riches of the earth. To Michigan, Florida, perfumes shall tenderly come, not the perfumes of flowers, but sweeter, and wafted beyond death. It shall be customary in the houses and streets to see manly affection. The most dauntless and rude shall touch face to face lightly. The dependent of liberty shall be lovers. The continuance of equality shall be comrades. These shall tie you and band you stronger than hoops of iron. Aye, ecstatic, O partners, O lands, with the love of lovers tie you. Were you looking to be held together by lawyers, or by an agreement on a paper, or by arms? Nay, nor the world, nor any living thing will so cohere. I saw old General at bay. Old as he was, his grey eyes yet shone out in battle like stars. His small force was now completely hemmed in his works. He called for volunteers to run the enemy's lines, a desperate emergency. I saw 100 and more step forth from the ranks, but 2 or 3 were selected. I saw them receive their orders aside. They listened with care, and the adjutant was very grave. I saw them depart with cheerfulness, freely risking their lives. The artilleryman's vision. While my wife at my side lies slumbering, and the wars are over, long, and my head on the pillow rests at home, and the vacant midnight passes, and through the stillness, through the dark, I hear, just hear, the breath of my infant. There in the room, as I wake from sleep, this vision presses upon me. The engagement opens there and then in fantasy unreal. The skirmishers begin. They crawl cautiously ahead. I hear the irregular snap, snap, I hear the sounds of the different missiles, the short of the rifle balls. I see the shells exploding, leaving small white clouds. I hear the great shells shrieking as they pass. They grape like the hum and whir of wind through the trees. Tumultuous now the contest rages. All the scenes at the batteries rise in detail before me again. The crashing and smoking, the pride of the men in their pieces. The chief gunner ranges and sights his piece and selects a fuse of the right time. After firing, I see him lean aside and look eagerly off to note the effect. Elsewhere, I hear the cry of a regiment charging. The young colonel leads himself this time with brandished sword. I see the gaps cut by the enemy's volleys, quickly filled up, no delay. I breathe the suffocating smoke. Then the flat clouds hover low, concealing all. Now a strange lull for a few seconds. Not a shot fired on either side. Then resumed the chaos, louder than ever, with eager calls and orders of officers. While some distant part of the field, the wind wafts to my ears a shout of applause, some special success. And ever the sound of the cannon, far or near, rousing even in dreams a devilish exultation, and all the old mad joy in the depths of my soul. And ever the hastening of infantry, shifting positions, batteries, cavalry moving hither and thither, the falling, dying, I heed not, the wounded, dripping in red, heed not, some to the rear are hobbling, grime, heat, rush, aide-de-camps galloping by on a full run. With the patter of small arms, the warning of the rifles, these in my vision I hear or see, and bombs bursting in air, and at night, the vari-colored rockets. Ethiopia, saluting the colors. Who are you, dusky woman, so ancient, hardly human? With your woolly white and turbaned head and bare bony feet, why, rising by the roadside here, do you the colors greet? As while our army lines Carolina's sands and pines, forth from thy hovel door thou, Ethiopia, comest to me, as under doughty Sherman I march toward the sea. Ye master years 100 since from my parents sundered, a little child, they caught me as a savage beast is caught. Then hither me across the sea the cruel slaver brought. No further does she say, but lingering all the day. Her high-born turbaned head she wags, and rolls her darkling eye, and curtsies to the regiments, the Guidons moving by. What is it, fateful woman, so blear, hardly human? Why wag your head with turban bound, yellow, red, and green? Are the things so strange and marvelous you see or have seen? My man Walt, talking about going on south with Sherman. Not youth pertains to me. Not youth pertains to me, nor delicatesse. I cannot beguile the time with talk. Awkward in the parlor, neither a dancer nor elegant. In the learned coterie, sitting constrained and still, for learning inures not to me, inures not to me, beauty, knowledge, inure not to me, yet there are 2 or 3 things inure to me. I have nourished the wounded and soothed many a dying soldier, and at intervals, waiting or in the midst of camp, composed these songs. Race of veterans. Race of veterans, race of victors. But get the hell out of here. Race of the soil, ready for conflict, race of the conquering march. No more credulities, race, abiding tempered race, race henceforth owning no law but the law of itself, race of passion and the storm. World, take good notice. World, take good notice. Silver stars fading, milky hue, ripped, wet of white detaching coals 38, baleful and burning, scarlet significant, hands off warning. Now and henceforth flaunt from these shores. Oh, tan-faced prairie boy. Oh, tan-faced prairie boy. Before you came to camp came many a welcome gift. Praises and presents came, and nourishing food, till, at last, among the recruits you came, taciturn with nothing to give. We but looked on each other, when lo, more than all the gifts of the world you gave me. Look down, fair moon. Look down, fair moon, and bathe this scene. Pour softly down night's nimbus, floods on faces ghastly, swollen, purple, on the dead on their backs with arms tossed wide. Pour down your unstinted nimbus, sacred moon. Reconciliation. Word over all. Beautiful is the sky, beautiful that war and all its deeds of carnage must, in time, be utterly lost. At the hands of the sisters, death and night incessantly, softly wash again and ever again this solid world. For my enemy is dead. A man divine as myself is dead. I look where he lies, white-faced and still in the coffin. I draw near, bend down and touch lightly with my lips the white face in the coffin. How solemn, as one by one. Washington City, 1865. How solemn, as one by one, as the ranks, returning, worn and sweaty, as the men file by where stand, as the faces, the masks appear, as I glance at the faces studying the masks, and as I glance upward out of this page studying you, dear friend, whoever you are, how solemn the thought of my whispering soul to each in the ranks, and to you. I see behind each mask that wonder, a kindred soul. Oh, the bullet could never kill what you really are, dear friend, nor the bayonet stab what you really are. The soul! Yourself I see, great as any, good as the best, waiting secure and content, which the bullet could never kill, nor the bayonet stab, oh friend. As I lay with my head in your lap, camarado. As I lay with my head in your lap, camarado, the confession I made I resume. What I said to you in the open air I resume. I know I am restless and make others so. I know my words are weapons full of danger, full of death. For I confront peace, security, and all the settled laws to unsettle them. I am more resolute, because I have denied me than I could ever have been had all accepted me. I heed not, and have never heeded either experience, cautions, majorities, nor ridicule, and the threat of what is called hell is little or nothing to me, and the lure of what is called heaven is little or nothing to me. Dear camarado, I confess I have urged you onward with me, and still urge you without the least idea of what is our destination, or whether we shall be victorious or utterly quelled and defeated. Delicate cluster, flag of teeming life, covering all my lands, all my seashores lining, flag of death. How I watched you through the smoke of battle pressing, how I heard you flap and rustle, cloth defiant. Flag cerulean, sunny flag, with the orbs of night dappled. Ah, my silvery beauty, ah, my woolly white and crimson. to sing the song of you, my matron mighty, my sacred one, my mother. To a certain civilian. Did you ask dulcet rhymes from me? Did you seek the civilian's peaceful and languishing rhymes? Did you find what I sang erewhile so hard to follow? Why, I was not singing erewhile for you to follow, to understand, nor am I now. I have been born of the same as the war was born. The drum corps' rattle is ever to me sweet music. I love well the martial dirge, with slow wail and convulsive throb leading the officer's funeral. What to such as you, anyhow, such a poet as I? Therefore, leave my works, and go lull yourself with what you can understand, and with piano tunes, for I lull nobody, and you will never understand me. Damn, all right, Walt. I see you. I see your game. Lo, victress on the peaks. Lo, the victress on the peaks, where thou with mighty brow regarding the world, O Libertad, that vainly conspired against thee, out of its countless beleaguering toils after thwarting them all, dominant, with the dazzling sun around thee, flauntest now unharmed, in immortal soundness and bloom, lo, in these hours supreme. No poem proud I chanting bring to thee, nor mastery's rapturous verse, but a cluster containing night's darkness and blood-dripping wounds, and psalms of the dead. Spirit whose work is done. Washington City, 1865. Spirit whose work is done, spirit of dreadful hours, ere departing fade from my eyes your forests of bayonets, spirit of gloomiest fears and doubts, yet onward, ever faltering, pressing. Spirit of many a solemn day, and many a savage scene, electric spirit, that with muttering voice through the war now closed, like a tireless phantom flitted, rousing the land with breath of flame, while you beat and beat the drum. Now, as the sound of the drum, hollow and harsh to the last, reverberates round me, as your ranks, your immortal ranks, return from the battles, as the muskets of the young men yet lean over their shoulders, as I look on the bayonets bristling over their shoulders, as those lances, as those slanted bayonets, whole forests of them appearing in the distance, approach and pass on, returning homeward, moving with steady motion, swaying to and fro to the right and left, evenly lightly rising and falling while the steps keep time. Spirit of hours I knew, all hectic red one day, but pale as death next day. Touch my mouth ere you depart. Press my lips close. Leave me your pulses of rage, bequeatheth them to me. Fill me with currents convulsive. Let them scorch and blister out of my chance when you are gone. Let them identify you to the future in these songs. Adieu to a soldier. Adieu, O soldier. You of the rude campaigning which we shared, the rapid march, the life of the camp, the hot contention of opposing fronts, the long maneuver, red battles with their slaughter, the stimulus, the strong, terrific game, spell of all brave and manly hearts, the trains of time through you, and like of you, all filled with war and war's expression. Adieu, dear comrade. Your mission is fulfilled, but I, more warlike myself, and this contentious soul of mine, still on our own campaigning bound, through untried roads with ambushes opponents lined, through many a sharp defeat and many a crisis, often baffled here, marching, ever marching on, a war fight out, aye, here, to fiercer, weightier battles give expression. Turn, O Libertad! Turn, O Libertad, for the war is over! From it and all henceforth expanding, doubting no more, resolute, sweeping the world. Turn from lands retrospective, recording proofs of the past. From the singers that sing the trailing glories of the past, from the chants of the feudal world, the triumphs of kings, slavery cast, turn to the world, the triumphs reserved. And to come give up that backward world. Leave to the singers of hitherto, give them the trailing past. For what remains, remains for singers, for you, wars to come are for you. Lo, how the wars of the past have duly inured you, and the wars of the present also inure. Then turn, and be not alarmed, O Libertad. Turn your undying face to where the future, greater than all the past, is swiftly, surely preparing for you. To the leavened soil they trod. To the leavened soil they trod, calling I sing for the last. Forth from my tent emerging for good, loosing, untying the tent ropes. In the freshness, the forenoon air, in the far-stretching circuits and vistas, again to peace restored. Fiery fields, emanative, and the endless vistas beyond, to the south and the north, to the leavened soil of the general west world to attest my songs, to the Alleghenian hills and the tireless Mississippi, to the rocks I calling sing, and all the trees in the woods, to the plains of the poems of heroes, to the prairies spreading wide, to the far-off sea and the unseen winds and the sane, impalpable air. And responding, they answer all, not in words. The average earth, the witness of war and peace, acknowledges mutely. The prairie draws me close, as the father to bosom brought the son. The northern ice and rain that began me nourish me to the end, but the hot sun of the south is to fully ripen my songs. All right, that brings us to Book 22. And we see behind us the end of the Civil War from Whitman's perspective. But with the end of the Civil War, there are other monumentous events that stirred history, to which, it seems, Whitman is going to give us his perspective. And so we have now Book 22, Memories of President Lincoln. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed, and the great star early drooped in the western sky in the night, I mourned, and yet shall mourn with ever-returning spring. Ever-returning spring. Trinity, sure to me you bring, lilac blooming perennial, and drooping star in the west, and thought of him I love. O powerful western fallen star, O shades of night, O moody, tearful night, O great star disappeared, O the black murk that hides the star, O cruel hands that hold me powerless, O helpless soul of me, O harsh surrounding cloud that will not free my soul. In the dooryard, Fronting an old farmhouse near the whitewashed palings stands the lilac bush, tall, growing with heart-shaped leaves of rich green, with many a pointed blossom rising delicate, with perfume strong I love, with every leaf a miracle. And from this bush in the dooryard, with delicate colored blossoms and heart-shaped leaves of rich green, a sprig with its flower I break. In the swamp, in secluded recesses, a shy and hidden bird is warbling a song. Solitary the thrush, the hermit withdrawn to himself, avoiding the settlements, sings by himself a song. Song of the bleeding throat, death's outlet, song of life. For well, dear brother, I know, if thou wast not granted to sing, thou wouldst surely die. Over the breast of the spring, the land, amid cities, amid lanes and through old woods, where lately the violets peeped from the ground, spotting the grey debris, amid the grass and the fields, each side of the lanes, passing the endless grass, passing the yellow-speared wheat, every grain from its shroud in the dark brown fields uprisen, passing the apple-tree blows of white and pink in the orchards, carrying a corpse to where it shall rest in the grave. Night and day journeys a coffin. Coffin that passes through lanes and streets, through day and night, with the great cloud darkening the land, with the pomp of the in-looped flags, with the cities draped in black, with the show of the states themselves, as of crape-veiled women standing, with processions long and winding, and the flambeaux of the night, with the countless torches lit, with the silent sea of faces and the unbared heads, with the waiting depot, the arriving coffin and the somber faces, with dirges through the night, with the thousand voices rising strong and solemn, with all the mournful voices of the dirges poured around the coffin, the dim-lit churches, and the shuddering organs where amid these you journey, with the tolling bells' perpetual clang. Here, coffin that slowly passes, I give you my sprig of lilac. Nor for you, for one alone, blossoms and branches green to coffins, all I bring. For fresh is the morning, thus would I chant a song for you, O sane and sacred death. All over bouquets of roses, O death, I cover you over with roses and early lilies, but mostly, and now, the lilac that blooms the first. Copious I break the sprigs from the bushes, with loaded arms I come, pouring for you, and the coffins, all of you, O death. O western orb, sailing the heaven, now I know what you must have meant as a month since as I walked in silence the transparent shadowy night, as I saw you had something to tell, as you bent to me night after night, as you drooped from the sky low down as if to my side, while the other stars all looked on, as we wandered together the solemn night, for something I know not what kept me from sleep. As the night advanced, and I saw on the rim of the west how full you were of woe, as I stood on the rising ground in the breeze in the cool, transparent night, as I watched where you passed and was lost in the netherward black of the night, as my soul, in its trouble, dissatisfied sank, as where you, sad orb, concluded dropped in the night, and was gone. Sing, oh, there in the swamp, O singer bashful and tender, I hear your notes, I hear your call, I come presently, understand you. But a moment I linger, for the lustrous star has detained me. The star my departing comrade holds and detains me. Oh, how shall I warble myself for the dead one there I loved? And how shall I deck my song for the large, sweet soul that is gone? And what shall my perfume be for the grave of him I love? Sea winds blown from east and west, blown from the eastern sea and blown from the western sea, till they're on the prairies meeting. These, and with these, and the breath of my chant, I'll perfume the grave of him I love. Oh, what shall I hang on the chamber walls? And what shall the pictures be that I hang on the walls to adorn the burial house of him I love? Pictures of growing spring, and farms and homes, with the 4th-month eve at sundown and the grey smoke lucid and bright, with floods of the yellow gold of the gorgeous, indolent, sinking sun, burning, expanding the air, with the fresh, sweet herbage underfoot, and the pale green leaves of the trees prolific. In the distance, the flowing glades, the breast of the river, or the wind dapple here and there, with ranging hills on the banks, with many a line against the sky and shadows, and the city at hand, with dwellings so dense, and stacks of chimneys, and all the scenes of life in the workshops and the workmen homeward returning. Lo, body and soul this land, my own Manhattan with spires, and the sparkling and hurrying tides, and the ships, the varied and ample land, the South and the North, and the light Ohio's shores and flashing Missouri, and ever the far-spreading prairies covered with grass and corn. Lo, the most excellent sun, so calm and haughty, the violet and purple morn with just felt breezes, the gentle, soft-born, measureless light, the miracle spreading, bathing all, the fulfilled noon, the coming eve delicious, the welcoming night and the stars over my cities shining, all enveloping man and land. Sing on, you gray-brown birds, sing from the swamps, the recesses, pour your chant from the bushes, limitless out of the dusk, out of the cedars and the pines. Sing on, dearest brother, warble your reedy song, loud human song with voice of uttermost woe. O liquid and free and tender, O wild and loose to my soul, O wondrous singer. You only I hear yet the star holds me, but will soon depart. Yet the lilac with mastering odor holds me. Now, while I sat in the day and looked forth, in the close of the day with its light in the fields of spring and the farmers preparing their crops, in the large unconscious scenery of my land with its lakes and forests, in the heavenly aerial beauty after the perturbed winds and the storms, under the arching heavens of the afternoon's swift passing, and the voices of children and women, the many moving sea tides. And I saw the ships, how they sailed, and the summer approaching with richness, and the fields all busy with labor, and the infinite separate houses, how they all went on, each with its meals and minutiae of daily usages. In the streets, how their throbbings throbbed, and the cities pent. Lo, then and there, falling upon them all, and among them all, enveloping me with the rest, appeared the cloud, appeared the long black trail, and I knew death, its thought, and the sacred knowledge of death. Then with the knowledge of death, as walking one side of me, and the thought of death close walking the other side of me, and I in the middle as with companions, and as holding the hands of companions. I fled forth to the hiding, receiving night that talks not, down to the shores of the water, the path by the swamp in the dimness, to the solemn, shadowy cedars and ghostly pines so still. And the singer, so shy, to the rest received me. The gray-brown bird I know received us comrades three, and he sang the carol of death, and a verse for him I love. From deep secluded recesses, from the fragrant cedars and the ghostly pines so still, came the carol of the bird, and the charm of the carol wrapped me, as I held as if by their hands my comrades in the night. And the voice of my spirit tallied the song of the bird. Come, lovely and soothing death, undulate round the world, serenely arriving in the day and the night to all, to each, sooner or later, delicate death. Praised be the fathomless universe, for life and joy, and for objects and knowledge curious, and for love, sweet love, but praise, 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 for the shore and winding arms of cool, enfolding death. Dark mother, always gliding near with soft feet, have none chanted for thee a chant of fullest welcome? Then I chant it for thee, I glorify thee above all, I bring thee a song, that when thou must indeed come unfalteringly, approach strong deliverance. When it is so, when thou hast taken them, I joyously sing the dead, lost in the loving floating ocean of thee, loved in the flood of thy bliss, O death. From me to thee glad serenades, dances for thee I propose, saluting thee, adornments and feastings for thee, and the sights of the ocean landscape and the high spread sky are fitting, and life, and the fields, and the huge and thoughtful night, the night in silence under many a star, the ocean shore and the husky, whispering wave whose voice I know, and the soul turning to thee, O vast and well-veiled death, and the body gratefully nestling close to thee. Over the treetops I float thee a song, over the rising and sinking waves, over the myriad fields and the prairies wide, over the dense-packed cities all, and the teeming wharves and ways, I float this carol with joy to thee, O death. To the tally of my soul, loud and strong, kept up the gray-brown bird, with pure deliberate notes spreading, filling the night, loud in the pines and cedars dim, clear in the freshness moist and the swamp perfume. And I, with my comrades there in the night, while my sight that was bound in my eyes unclosed as to long panoramas of visions. And I saw askant the armies. I saw, as in noiseless dreams, hundreds of battle flags borne through the smoke of the battles and pierced with missiles. I saw them, and carried hither and yon through the smoke, and torn and bloody, and at last but a few shreds left on the staffs, and all in silence, and the staffs all splintered and broken. I saw battle corpses, myriads of them, and the white skeletons of young men. I saw them. I saw the debris, and the debris of all the slain soldiers of the war. But I saw they were not, as was thought. They themselves were fully at rest. They suffered not. The living remained and suffered. The mother suffered, and the wife and the child and the musing comrade suffered. And the armies that remained suffered. Passing the visions, passing the night, unloosing the hold of my comrades' hands, passing the song of the hermit bird, and the tallying song of my soul. Victorious song, death's outlet song, yet varying, ever-altering song, as low and wailing, yet clear the notes, rising and falling, flooding the night, sadly sinking and fainting, as warning and warning, and yet again bursting with joy, covering the earth and filling the spread of the heaven, as that powerful psalm in the night I heard from recesses passing. I leave thee, lilac, with heart-shaped leaves. I leave thee there in the dooryard, blooming, returning with spring. I cease from my song for thee, from my gaze on thee in the west, fronting the west, communing with thee, O comrade, lustrous with silver face in the night, yet keep, each to keep it all, retrievement out of the night, the song, the wondrous chant of the grey-brown bird, and the tallying chant, the echo aroused in my soul, with the lustrous and drooping star, with the countenance full of woe, with the holders holding my hand, nearing the call of the bird, comrades, mine and I in the mist, and their memory ever to keep, but the dead I loved so well, for the sweetest, wisest soul of all my days and lands, and this, for his dear sake, lilac and star and bird twined with the chant of my soul, there, in the fragrant pines and the cedars, dusk and dim. All right, we've got ads coming up, but I think we can get through this one. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting, while fellow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh, heart, 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 oh, the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Oh, Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up! For you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells! But I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. All right. We've got ads about to kick up, but this, as you may have guessed by the title of the book and the theme of these poems, is particularly that since we've just gotten through the bits about the Civil War, this is Walt Whitman grieving Abraham Lincoln's death and letting it all out on the page. It's interesting to see this from a contemporary's view, rather than... we've all seen it in the history books and things like that, and heard well-worn stories. But this is raw. It's very interesting. Very different perspective than we're used to seeing in this sort of thing. And it's a lot more in touch with the emotions of the grief in the moment. compared to what we'd see today with any sort of political figure being sent off. It's just very emotional. All right, we've got ads kicking off, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll continue from here when we return. Thanks. All right, we are back. So, as we left off, we were observing the grief and processing the passing of Abe Lincoln. We saw as Whitman was processing the war itself from different viewpoints, from those left behind, from the fighting men, to having a brief observation of a freedman. We've got all sorts of different perspectives and differing emotions vying for attention. But now, as we've come past the war, we're seeing the raw, unfiltered response of a contemporary who is greatly affected by the loss of Abe Lincoln, the luminary of the time. So let's continue and see how this will continue to develop and what roller coaster Whitman will take us through tonight. Hushed be the camps today. May 4th, 1865. Hushed be the camps today, and soldiers let us drape our war-worn weapons, and each with musing soul retire to celebrate our dear commander's death. No more for him life's stormy conflict, nor victory, nor defeat, no more time's dark events, charging like ceaseless clouds across the sky. But sing, poet, in our name, sing of the love we bore him, because you, dweller in camps, know it truly. As they invault the coffin there, sing, as they close the doors of earth upon him, one verse for the heavy hearts of soldiers. This dust was once the man. This dust was once the man, gentle, plain, just and resolute, under whose cautious hand, against the foulest crime in history known in any land or age, was saved the union of these states. That's a nice eulogy there, actually. But before we move on, it's short, plain to the point, but it gets its point across very well. It wraps up both the speaker and the subject in one very brief verse. Alright, so continuing from Book 23, By Blue Ontario's Shore. By blue Ontario's shore, as I mused of these warlike days, and of peace returned, and the dead that return no more, a phantom gigantic, superb, with stern visage, accosted me. Chant me the poem, it said, that comes from the soul of America. Chant me the carol of victory, and strike up the marches of Libertad, marches more powerful yet, and sing me before you go the song of the throes of democracy. Democracy, the destined conqueror, yet treacherous lip smiles everywhere, and death and infidelity at every step. A nation announcing itself. I, myself, make the only growth by which I can be appreciated. I reject none, accept all, then reproduce all in my own forms. A breed whose proof is in time and deeds. What we are, we are. Nativity is answer enough to objections. We wield ourselves as a weapon is wielded. We are powerful and tremendous in ourselves. We are executive in ourselves. We are sufficient in the variety of ourselves. We are the most beautiful to ourselves. And in ourselves we stand self-poised in the middle, branching thence over the world. From Missouri, Nebraska, or Kansas, laughing attacks to scorn. Nothing is sinful to us outside of ourselves. Whatever appears, whatever does not appear, we are beautiful or sinful in ourselves only. Oh, mother, oh, sisters dear, if we are lost, no victor else has destroyed us. It is by ourselves we go down to eternal night. Have you thought there can be but a single supreme? There can be any number of supremes. One does not countervail another any more than one eyesight countervails another, or one life countervails another. All is eligible to all. All is for individuals. All is for you. No condition is prohibited, nor not God's or any. All comes by the body. Only health puts you rapport with the universe. Produce great persons. The rest follows. Piety and conformity to them that like, peace, obesity, allegiance to them that like. I am he who tauntingly compels men, women, nations, crying, leap from your seats and contend for your lives. I am he who walks the states with a barbed tongue, questioning everyone I meet. Who are you that wanted only to be told what you knew before? Who are you that wanted only a book to join you in your nonsense? With pangs and cries as thine own, O bearer of many children, these clamors wild to a race of pride I give. O lands, would you be freer than all that has ever been before? If you would be freer than all that has been before, come, listen to me. Fear, grace, elegance, civilization, delicatesse, fear the mellow sweet, sucking of honey juice. Beware the advancing mortal ripening of nature. Beware what precedes the decay of the ruggedness of states and men. Ages, precedents have long been accumulating undirected materials. America brings builders and brings its own styles. The immortal poets of Asia and Europe have done their work and passed to other spheres. A work remains. The work of surpassing all they have done. America, curious toward foreign characters, stands by its own at all hazards, stands removed. Spacious, composite sound initiates the true use of precedents. Does not repel them, or the past, or what they have produced under their forms. Takes the lesson with calmness, perceives the corpse slowly borne from the house. Perceives that it waits a little while in the door. That it was fittest for its days. That its life has descended to the stalwart and well-shaped heir who approaches, and that he shall be fittest for his days. Any period one nation must lead. One land must be the promise and reliance of the future. These states are the amplest poem. Here is not merely a nation, but a teeming nation of nations. Here the doings of men correspond with the broadcast doings of the day and night. Here is what moves in magnificent masses, careless of particulars. Here are the ruffs, beards, friendliness, combativeness the soul loves. Here the flowing trains, here the crowds, equality, diversity the soul loves. Land of lands and bards to corroborate. Of them standing among them, one lifts to the light a west-bred face. To him, the hereditary countenance bequeathed both mothers and fathers. His first parts, substances, earth, water, animals, trees, built of the common stock, having room for far and near. Used to dispense with other lands, incarnating this land, attracting it body and soul to himself, hanging on its neck with incomparable love, plunging his seminal muscle into its merits and demerits, making its cities, beginnings, events, diversities, wars, vocal in him, making its rivers, lakes, bays, embouchure in him. Mississippi, with yearly freshets and changing shoots, Columbia, Niagara, Hudson, spending themselves lovingly in him. If the Atlantic coast stretch, or the Pacific coast stretch, he stretching with them north or south, spanning between them east and west, and touching whatever is between them. Growths growing from him to offset the growths of pine, cedar, hemlock, live oak, locust, chestnut, hickory, cottonwood, orange, magnolia, tangles, as tangled in him as any canebrake or swamp. He, likening sides and peaks of mountains, forests coated with northern transparent ice. Of him, pasturage sweet and natural. A savanna, upland, prairie, through him flights, whirls, screams, answering those of the fishhawk, mockingbird, night heron, and eagle. His spirit surrounding his country's spirit, unclosed to good and evil, surrounding the essences of real things, old times and present times, surrounding just-found shores, islands, tribes of red aborigines, weather-beaten vessels, landing settlements, embryo stature and muscle, the haughty defiance of the year one, war, peace, the formation of the Constitution, the separate states, the simple, elastic scheme, the immigrants, the Union always swarming with blatherers and always sure and impregnable, the unsurveyed interior, log houses, clearings, wild animals, hunters, trappers, surrounding the multiform agriculture, mines, temperature, the gestation of new states. Congress convening every 12th month, the members duly coming up from the uttermost parts, surrounding the noble character of mechanics and farmers, especially the young men, responding their manners, speech, dress, friendships, the gait they have of persons who never knew how it felt to stand in the presence of superiors, the freshness and candor of their physiognomy, the copiousness and decision of their phrenology, the picturesque looseness of their carriage, their fierceness when wronged, the fluency of their speech, their delight in music, their curiosity, good temper, and open-handedness, the whole composite make, the prevailing order and enterprise, the large amativeness, the perfect equality of the female with the male, the fluid movement of the population, the superior marine, free commerce, fisheries, whaling, gold-digging, wharf-hemmed cities, railroad and steamboat lines intersecting all points, factories, mercantile life, labor-saving machinery, the northeast, northwest, southwest, Manhattan firemen, the Yankee swap, Southern plantation life, slavery, the murderous, treacherous conspiracy to raise it upon the ruins of all the rest, on and on to the grapple with it, assassin. Then your life or ours be the stake, and the respite no more. Lo, high toward heaven this day, Libertad, from the Congress's fields returned, I mark the new aureola around your head. No more of soft astral, but dazzling and fierce, with war's flames and the lambent lightnings playing, and your port immovable where you stand, with still the inextinguishable glance, and the clinched and lifted fist, and your foot on the neck of the menacing one, the scorner utterly crushed beneath you, the menacing, arrogant one that strode and advanced with his senseless scorn, bearing the murderous knife, the wide swelling one, the braggart that would yesterday do so much today, a carrion dead and damned, the despised of all the earth, an awful rank to the dunghill maggots spurned. Others take finish, but the Republic is ever constructive and ever keeps vista. Others adorn the past, but you, O days of the present, I adorn you. O days of the future, I believe in you. I isolate myself for your sake. O America, because you build for mankind, I build for you. O well-beloved stonecutters, I lead them who plan with decision and science. Lead the present with friendly hand toward the future. Bravas to all impulses, sending sane children to the next age. But damn that which spends itself with no thought of the strain, pains, dismay, feebleness it is bequeathing. I listened to the phantom by Ontario's shore. I heard the voice arising, demanding bards, by them all native and grand, by them alone can these states be fused into the compact organism of a nation. To hold men together by paper and seal or by compulsion is no account. That only holds men together which aggregates all into a living principle, as the hold of the limbs of the body or the fibers of plants. Of all races and eras, these states with veins full of poetical stuff most need poets, and are to have the greatest, and use them the greatest. Their presidents shall not be their common referee, so much as their poets shall. Song of love, and tongue of fire, I to pierce the deepest deeps and sweep the world. Ah, mother, prolific and full in all besides, yet how long barren? Barren! of these states. The poet is the equable man. Not in him, but off from him things are grotesque, eccentric, fail of their full returns. Nothing out of its place is good, nothing in its place is bad. He bestows on every object or quality its fit proportion, neither more nor less. He is the arbiter of the diverse. He is the key. He is the equalizer of his age and land. He supplies what wants supplying. He checks what wants checking. In peace, out of him speaks the spirit of peace. Large, rich, thrifty, building populous towns, encouraging agriculture, arts, commerce, lighting, the study of man, the soul, health, immortality, government. In war, he is the best backer of the war. He fetches artillery as good as the engineers. He can make every word he speaks draw blood. The years straying toward infidelity he withholds by his steady faith. He is no arguer. He is judgment. Nature accepts him absolutely. He judges not as the judge judges, but as the sun failing round helpless thing. As he sees the farthest, he has the most faith. His thoughts are the hymns of the praise of good things. Is the dispute on God and eternity, he is silent. He sees eternity less like a play with a prologue and denouement. He sees eternity in men and women. He does not see men and women as dreams or dots. For the great idea, the idea of perfect and free individuals, for that the bard walks in advance. Leader of leaders, the attitude of him cheers up slaves and horrifies foreign despots. Without extinction is liberty. Without retrograde is equality. They live in the feelings of young men and the best women. Not for nothing have the indomitable heads of the earth been always ready to fall for liberty. Oh, for the great idea. That, oh, my brethren, is the mission of poets. Songs of stern defiance ever ready, songs of the rapid arming and the march, the flag of peace quick folded, and instead the flag we know, warlike flag of the great idea. Angry cloth I saw there leaping, I stand again in leaden rain, your flapping folds saluting. I sing you over all, flying, beckoning through the fight. Oh, the hard contested fight! The cannons ope their rosy flashing muzzles, the hurtled balls scream, the battlefront forms amid the smoke, the volleys pour incessant from the line. Hark! The ringing word, charge! Now! The tussle and the furious maddening yells. Now the corpses tumble, curled upon the ground, cold, cold in death. For precarious life of you, angry cloth, I saw there leaping. Are you he who would assume a place to teach, or be a poet here in the States? The place is august, the terms obdurate. Who would assume to teach here may well prepare himself body and mind. He may well survey, ponder, arm, fortify, harden, make lithe himself. He shall surely be questioned beforehand by me, with many and stern questions. Who are you indeed, who would talk or sing to America? Have you studied out the land, its idioms and men? Have you learned the physiology, phrenology, politics, geography, pride, freedom, friendship of the land, its substratums and objects? Have you considered the organic compact of the first day of the first year of independence, signed by the commissioners, ratified by the states, and read by Washington at the head of the army? Have you possessed yourself of the federal constitution? Do you see who have left all feudal processes and poems behind them, and assumed the poems and processes of democracy? Are you faithful to things? Do you teach what the land and sea, the bodies of men, womanhood, amativeness, heroic angers teach? Have you sped through fleeting customs, popularities, Can you hold your hand against all seductions, follies, worlds, fierce contentions? Are you very strong? Are you really of the whole people? Are you not of some coterie, some school, or mere religion? Are you done with reviews and criticisms of life, animating now to life itself? Have you vivified yourself from the maternity of these states? Have you, too, the old, ever-fresh forbearance and impartiality? Do you hold the like love for these hardening to maturity? For the last born, little and big, and for the errant? What is this you bring my America? Is it uniform with my country? Is it not something that has been better told or done before? Have you not imported this or the spirit of it in some ship? Is it not a mere tale, a rhyme, a prettiness? Is the good old cause in it? Has it not dangled long at the heels of the poets, politicians, literats of enemies' lands? Does it not assume that what is notoriously gone is still here? Does it answer universal needs? Will it improve manners? Does it sound with trumpet voice the proud victory of the Union in that secession war? Can your performance face the open fields and the seaside? Will it absorb into me as I absorb food, air, to appear again in my strength, gait, face? Have real employments contributed to it? Original makers, not mere amanuenses? Does it meet modern discoveries? Calibers, facts, face to face? What does it mean to American persons, progresses, cities? Chicago, Canada, Arkansas? Does it see behind the apparent custodians the real custodians, standing menacing, silent the mechanics, Manhattanese, Western men, Southerners, significant alike in their apathy and in the promptness of their love? Does it see what finally befalls and has always finally befallen each temporizer, patcher, outsider, partialist, alarmist infidel who has ever asked anything of America? What mocking and scornful negligence! The track strewed with the dust of skeletons, by the roadside others disdainfully tossed. Rhymes and rhymers pass away. Poems distilled from poems pass away. The swarms of reflectors and the polite pass and leave ashes. Admirers, importers, obedient persons make but the soil of literature. America justifies itself. Give it time. No disguise can deceive it, or conceal from it. It is impassive enough. Only toward the likes of itself will it advance to meet them. If its poets appear, it will in due time advance to meet them. There is no fear of mistake. The proof of a poet shall be sternly deferred till his country absorbs him as affectionately as he has absorbed it. He masters whose spirit masters. He tastes sweetest who results sweetest in the long run. The blood of the brawn beloved of time is unconstrained. In the need of songs, philosophy, an appropriate native grand opera, shipcraft, any craft, he or she is greatest who contributes the greatest original, practical example. Already a nonchalant breed, silently emerging, appears on the streets. People's lips salute only doers, lovers, satisfiers, positive knowers. There will shortly be no more priests. I say their work is done. Death is without emergencies here, but life is perpetual emergencies here. Are your body, days, manners superb? After death you shall be superb. Justice, health, self-esteem clear the way with irresistible power. How dare you place anything before a man? All behind me states, a man before all, myself typical before all. Give me the pay I have served for. Give me to sing the songs of the great idea. Take all the rest. I have loved the earth, sun, animals. I have despised riches. I have given out names to every one that asked. Stood up for the stupid and crazy. Devoted my income and labor to others. Hated tyrants. Argued not concerning God. Had patience and indulgence toward the people. Taken off my hat to nothing known or unknown. Gone freely with powerful, uneducated persons, and with the young, and with the mothers of families. Read these leaves to myself. Read these leaves to myself in the open air, tried them by trees, stars, rivers, dismissed whatever insulted my own soul or defiled my body. Claimed nothing to myself which I have not carefully claimed for others on the same terms. Sped to the camps and comrades found and accepted from every state. Upon this breast has many a dying soldier leaned to breathe his last. This arm, this hand, this voice have nourished, raised, restored to life, recalling many a prostrate form. I am willing to wait to be understood by the growth of the taste of myself, rejecting none, permitting all. Say, O mother, have I not to your thought been faithful? Have I not through life kept you and yours before me? I swear, I begin to see the meaning of these things. It is not the earth, it is not America who is so great, it is I who am great, or to be great. It is you, up there, or anyone. It is to walk rapidly through civilizations, governments, theories, through poems, pageants, shows, to form individuals. Underneath all individuals. I swear nothing is good to me now that ignores individuals. The American compact is altogether with individuals. The only government is that which makes minute of individuals. The whole theory of the universe is directed unerringly to one single individual. Namely to you, mother, with subtle sense severe, with the naked sword in your hand, I saw you at last refuse to treat but directly with individuals. Underneath all, nativity. I swear I will stand by my own nativity, pious or impious, so be it. I swear I am charmed with nothing except nativity. Men, women, cities, nations are only beautiful from nativity. Underneath all is the expression of love for men and women. I swear I have seen enough of men and impotent modes of expressing love for men and women. After this day I take my own modes of expressing love for men and women. In myself. I swear I will have each quality of my race in myself. Talk as you like, he only suits these states whose manners favor the audacity and sublime turbulence of the states. Underneath the lessons of things, spirits, nature, governments, ownerships, I swear I perceive other lessons. Underneath to me, all to me is myself. To you, yourself. The same monotonous old song. Oh, I see flashing that this America is only you and me. Its power, weapons, testimony are you and me. Its crimes, lies, thefts, defections are you and me. Its Congress is you and me. The officers, capitals, armies, ships are you and me. Its endless gestations of new states are you and me. The war, that war so bloody and grim, the war I will henceforth forget, was you and me. Natural and artificial are you and me. Freedom, language, poems, employments are you and me. Past, present, future are you and me. I dare not shirk any part of myself. not any part of America, good or bad. Not to build for that which builds for mankind. Not to balance ranks, complexions, creeds, and the sexes, not to justify science nor the march of equality, nor to breathe the arrogant blood of the brawn beloved of time. I am for those that have never been mastered, for men and women whose tempers have never been mastered, for those whom laws, theories, conventions can never master. I am for those who walk abreast with the whole earth, who inaugurate one to inaugurate all. I will not be outfaced by irrational things. I will penetrate what it is in them that is sarcastic upon me. I'll make cities and civilizations defer to me. That is what I have learned from America. It is the amount, and I teach again. Democracy, while weapons were everywhere aimed at your breast, I saw you serenely give birth to immortal children, saw in dreams your dilating form, saw you with spreading mantle covering the world. I will confront these shows of the day and night. I will know if I am to be less than they. I will see if I am not as majestic as they. I will see if I am not as subtle and real as they. I will see if I am to be less generous than they. I will see if I have no meaning, or the houses and ships have meaning. I will see if the fishes and birds are to be enough for themselves, and I am not to be enough for myself. I match my spirit against yours, you orbs, growths, mountains, brutes, copious as you are. I absorb you all in myself, and become the master myself. America, isolated yet embodying all. What is it finally except myself? These states, what are they except myself? I know now why the earth is gross, tantalizing, wicked. It is for my sake. I take you specially to be mine, you terrible rude forms. Mother, bend down. Bend close to me your face. I know not what these plots and wars and deferments are for. I know not fruition success. But I know that through war and crime your work goes on, and must yet go on. Thus, by blue Ontario's shore, while the winds fanned me and the waves came trooping toward me, I thrilled with the power's pulsations, and the charm of my theme was upon me, till the tissues that held me parted their ties upon me. And I saw the free souls of poets, the loftiest bards of past ages strode before me. Strange, large men, long, unwaked, undisclosed, were disclosed to me. Oh, my rapt verse, my call, mock me not! Not for the bards of the past, not to invoke them have I launched you forth, not to call even those lofty bards here by Ontario's shores. Have I sung so capricious and loud my savage song? Bards for my own land only I invoke, for the war is over, the field is cleared, till they strike up marches henceforth triumphant and onward, to cheer, O mother, your boundless expectant soul. Bards of the great idea, bards of the peaceful inventions, for the war is over. Yet bards of latent armies, a million soldiers waiting ever ready, bards with songs as from burning coals or the lightning's forked stripes. Ample Ohio's, Canada's, bards of California, inland bards of the war. You, by my charm, I invoke. Whew, okay. That one was a fair bit longer than most of what we've read so far tonight. But it was a nice reversal, a nice chance to refocus, and a reminder that at his heart, Whitman is a fantastically layered writer. He's got a fierce, fierce patriotism in him, but it's tempered by realistic expectations and a view of the good and the bad. It's not a blind patriotism. It's a patriotism founded in the belief and ideal of what his home could be, what it can grow to be, what it should strive for. If we disappointed him? Maybe. Maybe. But that's not to say that there's not hope to continue onward and forward and upward. All right, let's continue. We've got a fair bit more ahead of us. We're up a little bit over 60% of the way through the book tonight. So we're making good progress. There's just so very, very much. So, yeah, it's very easy to get lost in the doom and gloom of the everyday. I am very rarely comforted by watching the news. So having a moment to reflect and see different perspectives throughout history and some of the incredible, incredible optimism and hope that's put down on page gives us something to remember, something to strive toward. We don't need to just watch the news. We can look to the past, look to the idealism that's been all through history. And yeah, this is a crazy long collection of poetry. This one is, of course, it's really long because it's the collection of all of Walt Whitman's life's work. He has written other things, but this is basically the poems that he wrote as he was living life, just collected into a book, bound together, and sent off. It's rare to see the very soul of an author put to page in quite this way. You see a lot of, you see someone who pours their life's work into something. You look at, Tolkien and see his collection of works, but those are intentional. He planned and developed and put things together, and you can see that he's put himself in it, but this is unfiltered. It's all of what makes Walt Whitman on the page. It's great. I'm usually not one that goes to poetry first. I can appreciate it, I enjoy it well enough, but it's not really my choice of picking things up. But this is fantastic. I'm enjoying this quite a lot as we continue on. And I keep distracting myself as we have more ahead of us tonight. So let's keep going with reversals. Let that which stood in front go behind. Let that which was behind advance to the front. Let bigots, fools, unclean persons offer new propositions. Let the old propositions be postponed. Let a man seek pleasure elsewhere, everywhere except in himself. Let a woman seek happiness everywhere except in herself. All right, that brings us to Book 24, Autumn Rivulets. Let's see how long this next one is. Oh, okay. This one's a doozy. All the way to 514. Okay, I see you. Well, we are certainly not going to finish this one tonight, but we'll get through some of these poems. That's the nice thing of reading poems like this is there are very convenient stopping places just about on every page. So, let's continue with Autumn Rivulets as consequent, etc. as consequent from store of summer rains, or wayward rivulets in autumn flowing, or many a herb-lined brook's reticulations, or subterranean sea rills making for the sea, songs of continued years I sing. Life's ever-modern rapids first, soon to blend with the old streams of death. Some threading Ohio's farm fields or the woods, some down Colorado's canyons from sources of perpetual snow, some half hid in Oregon, or away southward in Texas, some in the north, finding their way to Erie, Niagara, Ottawa, some in Atlantica's bays, and so to the great salt brine. In you, whoe'er you are, my book perusing. And I myself, in all the world, these currents flowing, all toward the mystic ocean tending, currents for starting a continent new. Overtures sent to the solid out of the liquid, fusion of ocean and land, tender and pensive waves, not safe and peaceful only. Waves roused and ominous too, out of the depths the storm's abysmic waves, who knows whence, raging over the vast, with many a broken spar and tattered sail, or from the sea of time, collecting, vasting all, I bring a windowed drift of weeds and shells. Oh, little shells, so curious convolute, so limpid, cold, and voiceless. Will you not, little shells, to the tympans of the temples held, murmurs and echoes still call up eternity's music faint and far, wafted inland, sent from Atlantica's rim, strains of the soul of the prairies, whispered reverberations, chords for the ear of the West joyously sounding, your tidings old, yet ever new and untranslatable, infinitesimals out of my life, and many a life. For not my life and years alone, I give all I give. These waifs from the deep, cast high and dry, washed on America's shores. The Return of the Heroes. For the lands, and for these passionate days, and for myself, now a while retire to thee, O soil of autumn fields, reclining on thy breast, giving myself to thee, answering the pulses of thy sane and equable heart, turning a verse for thee. O earth that hast no voice, confide to me a voice. O harvest of my lands, O boundless summer growths, O lavish brown porturient earth, O infinite teeming womb, a song to narrate thee. Ever upon this stage is acted God's calm annual drama. Gorgeous processions, songs of birds, sunrise that fullest feeds and freshens most the soul. The heaving sea, the waves upon the shore, the musical strong waves, the woods, the stalwart trees, the slender tapering trees, the Lilliput, countless armies of the grass, the heat, the showers, the measureless pasturages, the scenery of the snows, the wind's free orchestra, the stretching light hung roof of clouds, the clear cerulean, and the silvery fringes, the high dilating stars, the placid beckoning stars, the moving flocks and herds, the plains and emerald meadows, the shows of all the varied lands and all the growths and products. Fecund America today, thou art all overset in births and joys. Thou groan'st with riches, thy wealth clothes thee as a swathing garment. Thou laughest loud with ache of great possessions. A myriad twining life like interlacing vines, binds all thy vast demesne. As some huge ship freighted to water's edge, thou ridest into port. As rain falls from the heaven, and vapors rise from earth, so have the precious values fallen upon thee and risen out of thee. Thou envy of the globe, thou miracle. Thou bathed, choked, swimming in plenty, thou lucky mistress of the tranquil barns, thou prairie dame that sittest in the middle and lookest out upon thy world, and lookest east and lookest west, dispensatress, that by a word givest 1,000 miles, 1,000,000 farms, and missest nothing. Thou all acceptress, thou hospitable, thou only art hospitable, as God is hospitable. When late I sang, sad was my voice. Sad were the shows around me, with deafening noises of hatred and smoke of war. In the midst of the conflict, the heroes, I stood, or passed with slow step through the wounded and dying. But now I sing not war, nor the measured march of soldiers, nor the tents of camps, nor the regiments hastily coming up, deploying in line of battle. No more the sad, unnatural shows of war. Ask room those flushed, immortal ranks, the first forth-stepping armies. Ask room, alas, the ghastly ranks, the armies dread that followed. Pass, pass, ye proud brigades, with your tramping sinewy legs, with your shoulders young and strong, with your knapsacks and your muskets. How elate I stood and watched you, where starting off you marched. Pass then, rattle drums again, for an army heaves in sight. Oh, another gathering army, swarming, trailing on the rear. Oh, you dread accruing army. Oh, you regiments so piteous, with your mortal diarrhea, with your fever. Oh, my land's maimed darlings, with the plenteous bloody bandage and the crutch. Lo, your pallid army follows. But on these days of brightness, on the far-stretching, beauteous landscape, the roads and lanes, the high-piled farm wagons, and the fruits and barns, should the dead intrude? Ha ha ha! The dead to me mar not. They fit well in nature. They fit very well in the landscape, under the trees and grass, and along the edge of the sky in the horizon's far margin. Nor do I forget you departed, nor in winter or summer, my lost ones, but most in the open air, as now when my soul is wrapped and at peace. Like pleasing phantoms, your memories rising glide silently by me. I saw the day, the return of the heroes. Yet the heroes never surpassed, shall never return. Them that day I saw not. I saw the interminable corps. I saw the processions of armies. I saw them approaching, defiling by with divisions, streaming northward, their work done, camping a while in clusters of mighty camps. No holiday, soldiers youthful, yet veterans, worn, swart, handsome, strong of the stock of homestead and workshop, hardened of many a long campaign and sweaty march, inured on many a hard-fought bloody field. A pause. The armies wait. 1,000,000 flushed, embattled conquerors wait. The world too waits. Then, soft as breaking night, and sure as dawn, they melt, they disappear. Exult, O lands, victorious lands! Not there your victory on those red shuddering fields, but here, and hence your victory. Melt, melt away, ye armies, disperse, ye blue-clad soldiers, resolve ye back again. Give up for good your deadly arms, other the arms, the fields, henceforth for you, or south, or north, with saner wars, sweet wars, life-giving wars. Loud, O my throat, and clear, O soul, the season of thanks and a voice of full yielding, the chant of joy and power for boundless fertility. All tilled and untilled fields expand before me. I see the true arenas of my race, or first or last, man's innocent and strong arenas. I see the heroes at other toils. I see well wielded in their hands the better weapons. I see where the mother of all, with full spanning eyes, gazes forth, dwells long, and counts the varied gathering of the products. Busy the far, the sunlit panorama, prairie, orchard, and yellow grain of the north, cotton and rice of the south, and Louisianan cane. Open, unseeded fallows, rich fields of clover and timothy, kine and horses feeding, and droves of sheep and swine. And many a stately river flowing, and many a jocund brook, and healthy uplands with herby perfumed breezes, and the good green grass, that delicate miracle, the ever-recurring grass. Toil on, heroes. Harvest the products. Not alone on those warlike fields, the mother of all, with dilated form and lambent eyes, watched you. Toil on, heroes. Toil well. Handle the weapons well, the mother of all, yet here, as ever, she watches you. Well pleased, America, thou beholdest. Over the fields of the West, those crawling monsters, the human divine inventions, the labor-saving implements, beholdest moving in every direction, imbued as with life the revolving hayrakes, the steam power reaping machines, and the horsepower machines, the engines thrashers of grain and cleaners of grain, well separating the straw, the nimble work of the patent pitchfork. Beholdest the newer sawmill, the southern cotton gin, and the rice cleanser. Beneath thy look, O maternal, with these and else, and with their own strong hands, the heroes harvest. All gather and all harvest, yet but for thee, O powerful. Not a scythe might swing, as now in security. Not a maize stalk dangle, as now its silken tassels in peace. Under thee only they harvest, even but a wisp of hay, under thy great face only. Harvest the wheat of Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin, every barbed spear under thee. Harvest the maize of Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, each ear in its light green sheath. Gather the hay to its myriad mows in the odorous tranquil barns, oats to their bins, the white potato, the buckwheat of Michigan to theirs. Gather the cotton in Mississippi or Alabama, dig and hoard the gold and the sweet potato of Georgia and the Carolinas. Clip the wool of California or Pennsylvania, cut the flax in the middle states, or hemp or tobacco in the borders. Pick the pea and the bean, or pull apples from the trees, or bunches of grapes from the vines, or aught that ripens in all these states, or north or south, under the beaming sun and under thee. All right. That brings us to the end of, that was The Return of the Heroes. And that is a poignant piece. It's a good transition and shift. It is the soldiers, the veterans returning home, and still they are heroes as they return to their labors, whether it be the agriculture or the workhouses or whatever the case may be. You're home now, and you're heroes because you're keeping up your own way. All right, guys, we've got ads just about to start, so let's go ahead and take a short break because I don't want anyone to miss anything. So we'll be back in just a bit. All right, we are back. Let me get this updated real quick. I did, in fact, grab a glass of water. So, all right, we are running toward the end of our time, but let's go ahead and get through one more, because this is a rather short poem. So let's get through one more, and then we'll go through our wrap-up for the evening. So, there was a child went forth. There was a child went forth every day. And the first object he looked upon, that object he became. And that object became part of him for the day, or a certain part of the day. Or for many years, or stretching cycles of years. The early lilacs became part of this child. And grass, and white and red morning glories, and white and red clover, and the song of the phoebe bird. Phoebe bird. And the third-month lambs, and the sow's pink faint litter, and the mare's foal, and the cow's calf, in the noisy brood of the barnyard, or by the mire of the pondside, and the fish suspending themselves so curiously below there, and the beautiful, curious liquid, and the water plants with their graceful flat heads, all became part of him. The field sprouts of the 4th month and 5th month became part of him. Winter grain sprouts, and those of the light yellow corn, and the esculent roots of the gardens, and the apple trees covered with blossoms, and the fruit afterward, and woodberries, and the commonest weeds by the road, and the old drunkard staggering home from the outhouse of the tavern whence he had lately risen, and the schoolmistress that passed on her way to the school, and the friendly boys that passed, and the quarrelsome boys, and the tidy and fresh-cheeked girls, and the barefoot Negro boy and girl, and all the changes of city and country wherever he went. His own parents, he that had fathered him, and she that had conceived him in her womb and birthed him, they gave this child more of themselves than that. They gave him afterward every day. They became part of him. The mother at home quietly placing the dishes on the supper table. The mother with mild words cleaned her cap and gown, a wholesome odor falling off her person and clothes as she walks by. The father, strong, self-sufficient, manly, mean, angered, unjust, the blow, the quick, loud word, the tight bargain, the crafty lure, the family usages, the language, the company, the furniture, the yearning and swelling heart, affection that will not be gainsaid, the sense of what is real, the thought if, after all, it should prove unreal, the doubts of daytime and the doubts of nighttime, the curious whether and how, whether that which appears so is so, or is it all flashes and specks? Men and women crowding fast in the streets. If they are not flashes and specks, what are they? The streets themselves and the facades of houses and goods in the windows, vehicles, teams, the heavy planked wharves, the huge crossing at the ferries. The village on the highland seen from afar at sunset, the river between shadows, aureola and mist, the light falling on roofs and gables of white or brown 2 miles off, the schooner nearby sleepily dropping down the tide, the little boat slack towed astern, the hurrying tumbling waves, the quick broken crests slapping the strata of colored clouds, the long bar of maroon tint away, solitary by itself, the spread of purity it lies motionless in, the horizon's edge, the flying sea crow, the fragrance of salt marsh and shore mud, these became part of that child who went forth every day, and who now goes, and will always go forth every day. All right, that brings us to where we will wrap up for tonight. So let's go ahead and set a bookmark. And we can shift out of our reading nook here. So, tonight was interesting. We caught a lot of developments and progression through history and Walt's life and feelings and emotions as events were flashing by. We started tonight with continuation of his reactions and reflections on the American Civil War. We continued on with his grief, the profound and heart-wrenching, tearing grief as he was mourning the loss of Abraham Lincoln. A surprisingly personal form of grief that we couldn't possibly imagine for a politician today. It would be, I don't care which side you're on, nobody is worth writing out poems for like that when you've got that. Yeah, the whole book is deeply personal. It's shockingly personal. It's great. I love it. And we're continuing on now with more reflections of on Walt's feelings of society, America, proceeding out past the war and into peacetime, and what it means to be America. The fierce optimism and patriotism intertwined. The feelings of yearning to be worthy of the promise. That's the sort of feeling that can be lacking in modern time. I won't say that we're in decline, but the personal feeling of living up to the promise and stepping forward and building upon it is something that is hard to come by. And the very easy trap of falling into a news-induced depression is very real. So sometimes it's nice to take a step back and see how others through history have viewed ourselves. Those that are going to come down the line, those who have come before. It's nice. Whitman is shockingly optimistic and very real. It's been a delight to read this so far, and I'm excited to continue this as we go on. But this will be where we wrap up for tonight. Those of you who are new here, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I will have my quick rundown as we wrap up. We always stream both on Twitch and YouTube every night. So if you would like to catch up, all of our VODs from when we started the channel over a year ago, about a year and a half now, are over on YouTube. We've got all sorts of books, different genres, different authors, a lot to choose from. So feel free to peruse. And if you're over on the YouTube side, a subscription to the channel and a like on any of the streams go a long way to convincing the algorithm to send us new friends. If you're on Twitch, thanks for joining us. This is where we're generally a little bit more active, chat's a little bit more interactive, and we just try to have some fun with this. So thanks for joining us. A follow on Twitch is really all I ask for. It can help you keep tabs of what we're doing and lets me know that you like what we're doing. There's no algorithm involved here. At least I don't think so. I've never bothered to optimize anything for algorithms on Twitch, and I don't really plan on it. A little too late to be learning any tricks like that these days. So, that'll be where we wrap up for tonight. Tomorrow, we will be continuing our unarchived reading of a more modern book. We'll be finishing up, reading the second half of Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. It's a very fun book so far, and far less optimistic than this. Although it does have its own ups and downs, where the conclusion should be a little bit less dreary, I should hope. All right, so as always, I prefer to raid over to fellow readers whenever we can. It's a small batch of a small batch of readers that are out on Twitch, so we might as well share in that community, right? So let's see who is out there now. Let's see. There's the fanfic crew that is reading My Immortal. I don't really care to go into that. I know it's a spoof of things, but it is still Potter related, and that carries with it all the baggage that Rowling has cursed the world with. So let's see who else we have. EM is just getting started. That could be fun. We haven't been to him in a little while. He's reading The Witcher 3, Karmic Chameleon. Or, wait, that's the game, Witcher 3, Karmic Chameleon. But right now he's reading The Witcher, Baptism of Fire. Okay. Let's see, who else do we have? Oh, I don't know that we've raided over to Kintron before. That might be a good one. They're reading Friday Night Fairy Tales. Hans Andersen's fairy tales. That can be fun. Let's do that. Yeah, I like that. So we are going to raid over to Kintron Valgrige, and I hope everyone will give them our very, very best. They're reading fairy tales tonight, and that's an easy way to just sort of ease into a channel, if I should say so myself. So we're going to fire off our raid, and we'll hopefully have a good time with Kintron. Until next time, I thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Good night.
Or not understand others. Okay. How's your reading?